Hello everyone, it's Melanie here with Vintage Studio. Full transparency, I had to work through an epic crafting fail to get this card done. There were a few bad words, possibly, but anyway, I will get to that. Alright, here is the background stamp and some inks that I thought would look good on this. I've never used this stamp before. Part of the epic fail is uncertainty of how to really use this. So here we go. You're going to see everything that I went through to try to save this card. Sometimes we have that, right? Some days things come together click, 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 so easy, and other days it's just horrendous. So you're going to see how I worked around this epic fail to go ahead and finish this card. There are parts I love and there are parts I hate. But anyway, let's get to it. I'm going to mask off the bottom portion of this full-sized stamp here. You can see I taped that to my stamping platform because I'm stamping from edge to edge. In order to do that, you don't want to use your magnet. So anyway, here I'm inking up the stamp. Obviously, that's not going to work because I guess I had brain fog today. You can see it did just the outline. So now I'm going to come in with my Distress inks and I'm trying to get this sunrise or sunset look to this sunburst here. And I'm getting a lot of splotches. Now this is just cardstock that I'm working on. And you know, I thought this would blend out, but it doesn't. So I keep working and working, and this is starting to irritate me just a little bit. And I'm a very, very, very positive and patient person, but not with this stamp. Not with what I've done with the stamp. The stamp itself is beautiful. It's my Distress ink, which gave me a lot of distress in working through this card project this week. So I would say, yes, this ink is appropriately named for this project, Distress. Anyway, here comes an epic fail of trying to introduce a little bit of this blue. Now my ink pad is just a little bit dry, so this is really getting splotchy and it's getting worse. Do you ever have these days where your projects just don't go the way you envision them, but you're too stubborn to start over? Well, that's what this was. And look at this hot mess I've got here with this sunburst. It's looking horrendous. It really is. But I was too stubborn to give up. So you can see I'm going to go through a few iterations here of trying to make this better. Should I restamp over the image with the orange to just try to bring it back to looking like a starburst instead of just a splat of color? You know, I don't know. I just didn't want to give up, right? So anyway, thank you for being patient with me. I'm going to take a little baby wipe here and try to get some of that ink up or get it to blend or something. That's not working. Okay, so I thought, all right, I'm going to just let that dry a little bit, maybe a little dry back, a little more subtle, and I'll like it better. So I'm going to move on to my sand. This is why I mask off the stamp along the bottom. I didn't really need to stamp any of that, so that's why I use that paper mask to leave that plain for my sand. Okay, then this is just the torn paper part that I'm trying to make some waves here. And look at this beautiful paper with the white core. So obviously I'm just using scraps and not everything has a white core. That's okay. I had an idea of how to work around that. So I'm using several colors of kind of this blue or teal color and tearing my paper so that it looks like natural waves. And because I like that white core so much, like I said, I came up with a solution, and I'm going to share that with you in just a second. The solution on these papers that don't have the white core is that I'm going to bring over a white pencil. And I'm just going to pencil around those wave areas, and that's going to give that frothy look to the top of my waves. See, I'm rather proud of myself for some ideas, but that sun is still killing me on this card, that sunburst. So I like the sand, I like the way my waves are coming out, the rest is a dud. I'm going to speed up along some of this process, and I wish in real life I could speed through some of my other fails that aren't craft related, but you know, just life related, speed through those. That would be a fantastic thing to have in life. But can't control that, but I can control this video. So bear with me as we speed through some of this fixer-upper project. Now, as I mentioned, I'm liking the waves. I'm loving these colors, and I like how this butts up right underneath that sunburst and above the sand. And I'm using liquid glue that lets me make some minor adjustments. You don't want these all to be perfect. They're different sizes, different shades of the blue or teal. Got the little frothy wave thing going on at the top. Loving how the waves are coming out. I'm going to leave a little area there at the bottom so you can tell that we have a beach area and the waves and then that awful sunburst. Maybe you could just say you've got sunspots in your eyes and that's why it looks so odd. No, I really don't want to make any excuses. I am going to try to come back and fix this though. Okay, here I'm just tearing the bottom layer of the waves here so that it looks like it's splashing up on the shore. And then I'll pick which end I want to go up and which end that would face the shore. Get that put down. And then I decided to add a little bit of shading underneath this last wave. And it's going to really put I'll add a little bit more froth here and there. Just so it looks like the waves are coming crashing in here, one over the other. Just gives it a little more highlights there at the top of those waves coming over. Then I'm going to clip that off very quickly and go back and add that little bit of shading using a watercolor pencil and a water brush. Now what this is going to do is give you a little delineation between the sand and the ocean waves that are hitting the shore. And when you use that water brush, it's going to add a 3D effect. It's very subtle, but easy to do, so why not? You can see what that adds to the front of your card. It kind of makes you not look at that sunburst so much. So anyway, here I come with a water bottle, and I thought, okay, this will lighten it up. This will be great. Wrong again. It did nothing. So now I'm going to bring over some more watercolor pencils and my water brush and try to just give this a little more color over the ink and try to get rid of those blue splotches that I introduced that really ruined my sunburst. Try again. I was kind of a little peeved at how long this took me, mainly to try to fix the sunburst that I messed up. Anyway, moving on. The colored pencils helped a little bit. I really loved the sand and the waves so much and how those came out with the torn paper and the highlights and all of that I was even more disappointed in this sunburst. It just wasn't really getting better, but I had to keep trying, so here I go with my water brush trying to, get this to blend just a little bit better. I will be happy with just a little bit. So let me know in your comments, have you had these epic crafting fails and you just refuse to give up, or do you throw your stuff in the trash and start over, or what? How do you approach epic fails? Leave me a comment. Maybe I can learn from you. Maybe I should have given up on this, but I really was happy, like I said, with the waves and the sand and the whole idea of this card, so I wanted to keep going. And I did, as you can see. Even with video editing, we shouldn't always say that everything turns out the way we had planned. That doesn't happen in card making, and it seldom happens in life, right? Well, anyway, I went on to fix this the best I could and then used a little die cut that says celebrate because this is going to be a birthday card for someone. I cut that out of kind of a subtle glitter paper and added that in the arch of the sun, and then I was happy to call this done. Hey, I want to thank you so much for dropping by to visit today and, join me on this path of an epic fail into a finished card. And I would love to hear from you. If you're not a subscriber, please feel free to subscribe. And I hope you will learn from my mistakes and maybe do better on your card. But anyway, thank you for dropping by. I hope to see you again soon, and happy crafting, everyone.